In 2019, the Philadelphia Eagles were affected by injuries on both sides of the ball. We've talked about the offense, all the speed, Carson Wentz still having the best tight end duos in the NFL. But today, let's get into how good this defense could be and the tendencies they're going to play in 2020. What is going on, everybody? If you don't already know, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you are new to the channel and love talking Philly sports every single day, hit that subscribe button. Now, if you believe that the Philadelphia Eagles offense can get into the top 10, but also the defense could get inside the top 10 in the NFL, smash that like button. And oh, by the way, it helps this content and pushes it out to other Philly fans. With all that being said, let's jump into today's topic. When I look back on the Eagles' 2019 season, when it comes to the defense they played, they did a lot of good things, but they also did a lot of bad things. The one thing that the Eagles lacked in 2019 was consistency. I mean, you had games where we held Dallas to 9, Seattle to 7, but then you go ahead and let Haskins score 27 and Fitzpatrick score 30 plus. So the inconsistencies that the defense played at both levels, in the secondary, on the defensive line, and definitely at linebacker, were really the problem. Adding a guy like Javon Hargraves, getting Fletcher Cox back to 100%, bringing back Malik Jackson, who missed the whole season last year, are going to make this defensive line consistent. Guys like Derek Barnett, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Jannard Avery, their job on the outside is going to be a lot easier, because last year we barely had any healthy D tackles except Fletcher Cox, and he wasn't even at 100%. Timmy Jurgen going down, Hassan Ridgeway going down, Malik Jackson going down. I mean, every D tackle next to Fletcher Cox went down, and Anthony Rush filled in at the end and did pretty good. But he's not the three guys I spoke about, which would have made the defensive line a lot more consistent. Now, going back to the secondary, it was a mess. Talk about injuries in your secondary. The Philadelphia Eagles had a total of 8 different cornerbacks play meaningful snaps for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2019. We had to bring guys like Orlando Bum Scandrix and guys like Craig James and play meaningful snaps with these guys. These are guys who shouldn't be starting in an NFL game. When you look at the injuries that Jim Schwartz faced, 8 different cornerbacks playing snaps, 3 different D tackles going out, injuries to Derek Barnett on and off in the season. I mean, sometimes you can draw up a play, and it's about, do you have the personnel to execute it? So we still have to stay healthy for 2020 to be a successful season. But let's look at the Eagles defense and what they like to do in 2019 and how it can transfer to a better, stronger 2020. In 2019, the Philadelphia Eagles defense under Jim Schwartz played a total of 58% of zone coverage, leaving the other 42% to man coverage, which we did play more at the end of the season. However, when you look at the personnel packages Jim Schwartz threw out on defense, this is what he did percent-wise in 2019. When you look at the base package, we played it 18% of the time, which ranked 25th in the NFL. Nickel package, we played 61% of the time, which was 17th in the NFL. And dime plus, which you got quarters and stuff like that, we played 19% of the time, which was 10th in the NFL. When you look at how much zone the Eagles ran in 2019, I completely understand, especially when you talk about early in the season, when Jim Schwartz had guys like Rasul Douglas, Craig James, Orlando Scandrick playing big minutes. How could he hide these guys' deficiencies? By playing zone, by playing a lot of cover 3, letting these guys get these underneath routes. But that doesn't excuse how many big pass plays the Philadelphia Eagles allowed in 2019. That is something the guys that we have now are going to correct in 2020. Another thing that the Philadelphia Eagles need to do better in 2020 than they did in 19 is, like I said earlier, just be consistent. Look at these 2 inconsistent stats that I'm about to show you. The Philadelphia Eagles defense led the NFL in forcing 3 and outs, forcing them 27.5% of the time.
with time, and that strike is incomplete as he put it on.
We also led the league in forced incompletion, forcing 58 incompletion, which led the NFL.
All-out blitz coming. Stafford gets it away and out of bounds, making the reception.
But here comes the inconsistencies. When the Philadelphia Eagles defense wasn't forcing 3-and-outs and or forcing incompletions, they allowed too many big plays. The Eagles allowed the most 40-plus pass plays in the NFL at 16. There were more big plays that fell short of 40 yards. And these coming from 1, getting burnt.
No, you cannot. Keenum's going to go deep, and he's got a man, McLaurin, who makes the catch in open field, and he's got
2, not being able to locate the ball.
Patrick on 4th down, and this pass is caught. Parker.
And 3, missed tackles.
a little bit of pressure. They pick it up. Quick strike. And then keeping his balance is Slayton.
So where you see the Eagles secondary was able to step up, especially at the end of the year, and cause some havoc. We allowed too many big plays, too many missed tackles, too much inconsistency in the secondary, and also with the defensive line. I mean, we ranked 14th in the NFL when it comes to sacks, only recording 43 sacks total on the year. We gotta be better than 14. We need to be in that top 10 when it comes to sacks. But the secondary was probably the most inconsistent spot. Adding a guy who's versatile, who can come off the bench and play safety and or that big nickel and Will Parks will help. Getting a guy like Nikel Roby-Coleman, who last year held quarterbacks to an 80 passer rating when throwing his way, which ranked 13th. And getting Big Play Slay. Since 2013 when he came in the league, he's tied for first in the NFL with Stephon Gilmore with 89 forced incompletions. Adding players like this on your team, veteran players like this on your team, is going to shore up the inconsistencies we had last season. Take away the big play that we allowed way too much last year, and this Eagles defense was solid in 19. And we got the players in 2020 that could take away the big play. Hence, Big Play Slay. So with all that being said, I'm looking forward to 2020. I do believe we're going to run a good amount of zone, but we should run more man with the players we have. Guys like Coleman, guys like Slay, and with the lack of quality linebackers we have, we will continue to run a lot of nickel, which only leaves 2 linebackers on the field. And don't be surprised if in 2020 we don't run more than 19% dime/quarters, more of a dime look where you get an extra cornerback in like Cre'Von LeBlanc who can tackle, or you bring a guy like Will Parks who can play safety or nickel and can tackle. And like I said, Kevon Wallace, he will show his face in the early season, maybe not starting safety, but in the dime look, in the big nickel, playing the linebacker/cornerback. Because when it comes to stopping the run, we rely on the front four. We do ask our linebackers and secondary players to clean up anything we miss, but our front four take care of the run most of the time. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching and all the constant support. Appreciate you guys 100%. Let me know in the comment section, how dominant do you think this defense will be? Let me know, with the personnel that Jim Schwartz has going into 2020, are we going to stay running the same type of packages we did? Do you think we'll switch it up? How do you feel the best way to use what we have on defense? Let me know all that in the comment section. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.